Welcome. I'm so thrilled to be here in the heart of the San Fernando Valley in Van Nuys with our great councilwoman and council president, Nury Martinez, to celebrate our 21st Bridge Home opening. That's right, 21. These structures that didn't exist just a couple years ago. Now each week we're seeing across this city, in every single council district and every part of our city, people stepping up to address the issue of homelessness by creating solutions in neighborhoods where homelessness lives. This is really exciting, to take a space where you only imagine what it would look like and to actually be able to come here and see the building of a shelter, the taking of it from a dream to reality, from a hope to a home. That's no small feat. And so let me acknowledge the visionaries who brought us here. And again, first and foremost, Council President Nury Martinez and her staff, who worked tirelessly on making this happen, who I've walked this street with her before as a council member to see and to talk to folks experiencing homelessness. But I want to thank her, Marco Sanchez, Yvonne Perez. I also want to thank Deputy Mayor Christina Miller and the great April Brody, who's here with us, and Dan Rodman, who worked really hard between our city homelessness initiatives team and our transportation team, because this is right here along the Orange Line and an impressive piece of property that required some negotiations. Gary Lee Moore, our city engineer and the Bureau of Engineering's Bridge Home team, Richard Llewellyn and the CAO's Bridge Home team as well, and Lieutenant Colonel John Chamness and Loida Parasa, who is here today, everybody at the Salvation Army, who've done just an extraordinary job. We know the Salvation Army, we love the Salvation Army. They have joined with us now in 3 Bridge Homes, and it is really part of the success, not just building a building, but the people who will transform lives. I want to thank Heidi Marston, the LASA team, and all the city departments who are involved in this, because it takes our building and safety department, our fire department, our water and power department, our sanitation crew, the UHRC, which coordinates all these things together, our general services department, and our city attorney to make this happen. And also, I want to thank Arash Dagigian, who has been part of building a number of these Bridge Home projects, and Sia Dagigian and the Ford EC team. John Potts and Holly Rockwell, Maria Garcia, the entire Metro real estate team too, because this is a great example of Metro stepping up to help address homelessness as well. So as chair of Metro, I'm very proud to wear 2 hats, as mayor and Metro chair, to see how city governments and local transportation oversight has come together to make this happen. The story of Aetna Bridge Home began long before our current season of vulnerability, long before a recession, the deepest recession of our lifetimes, touched us, before a virus has affected every family and every community, and before this period of our lives that one author recently called the Great Humbling. And certainly every single day we are humbled. But we took this effort on long before this pandemic that is a public health crisis, because homelessness is a public health crisis. We know that Angelenos experiencing homelessness are more likely to die, they're more likely to get sick, they're more likely to be afflicted with public health, poverty, and other conditions that make their quality of life less than other Angelenos who are housed. Long before we moved to expand testing, we needed to address trauma on our streets. Long before the COVID-19 emergency, we are confronting the moral and humanitarian crisis of our times, homelessness. But there's one principle that we embraced, whether it's in permanent housing or bridge housing like this: housing ends homelessness. We know that. And the shelters like this one are a first and critical step to a long-term road to permanent housing for people who today are living in tents or in cars. Today's opening isn't just about celebrating a new building. It's about marking a new beginning for human beings who will come in here to these beds, and when they leave, a new crew will come in, and a new crew, and a new crew, recycling these beds as places not just to stabilize lives, but also to transform them. That more than 70 Angelenos won't lay their heads on a sidewalk, but on a pillow. And they'll join the souls sleeping soundly in now 1,667 beds at Bridge Home shelters at any given time throughout Los Angeles. And it means that residents can feel safe and supported. They'll have a case manager. They'll begin to get their lives in order, go on job interviews, deal with the health and mental health issues that they face, be able to have a housing navigator help them, and have a personalized plan of action, which so many people on the street can't even think through when they're trying to survive day to day. It's what it takes to serve every human being, to say that every soul is sacred. And I know that all of us share that, the tools and the space to get back on their feet. This has been a long time coming, And by the end of the week, we will have celebrated 4 new bridge home projects since the beginning of August alone. 4 in just less than 2 weeks. And there are 2 more that are planned for next month. So we're on track to have 24 bridge homes open throughout Los Angeles, with more than 1,800 beds serving Angelenos by mid-December and more than 2,000 beds by the end of this year. Thank you to the council members who have led. Thank you to the community members. Thank you to folks who have overcome the fears that sometimes when these are abstract, but now we can see them incarnate, melt away. We acknowledge that people look around their own neighborhoods and they don't want it to be that way. And this is part of that solution. So thanks to the courage and the initiative of LA voters, this isn't the last stop as well. We'll have the resources, the will, and the drive to build many places that people will call home for a long period of time. We're standing up 10,500 new units of housing in over 143 permanent supportive housing projects that are operating now or will be soon. In this calendar year alone, in less than the 5 months left that we have in this year, we expect 1,256 new units in 19 projects to come online, 764 which will be called permanent supportive housing units with the resources people need to have services along with their housing. And thanks to Council President Martinez, CD6 is home to more units than any other council district in the San Fernando Valley. It was the first district to surpass the everyone in goal of 222 supportive housing units. They now have 310 units now approved or in the pipeline. So thank you to you and your team for that leadership. This is how we're transforming our city. One neighborhood, one council district, one city at a time to make things more livable, more equitable. And across Los Angeles, communities are saying yes. Yes to bringing their neighbors in, yes to providing the services, and to declare that we are each other's keeper, to bring creativity and energy, and yes, resilience to this fight, because this is not for the faint of heart, and it doesn't go away quickly, but it will go away if we keep with it. I know these have been dark days for all of us, and we're carrying a lot of pain, but I hope that this is a ray of sunshine when you see these openings, and this one particularly here, in the heart of the city. Thank you for making this dream a reality, for helping us to deliver healing, housing, and hope to the community. And with that, I'm going to hand it over to my colleague and my friend, a woman who has an amazing job as council president, not an easy one in these times, but is doing an extraordinarily brave and great job leading this city and our city council. Please welcome the councilwoman from the 6th District, Nury Martinez.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor. And good morning, everyone. Thank you, Mr. Mayor, for that kind introduction, and thank you for your work on the Bridge Home Project, and welcome to the Edna Bridge Home site here in Council District 6. I also want to thank the Salvation Army in advance for being here with us and being our service provider at this site, and I also am hoping that we will have real opportunities to be able to change lives together. So I want to give them a huge round of applause. Thank you very much for all your support. You've been amazing to work with. I want to thank Lieutenant Colonel Martinez for your leadership and for being here this morning as well. And it is a wonderful thing that the Salvation Army has also appointed Loida Paraza, who's here with us. She's a woman who grew up in this community here in Van Nuys, a couple of blocks away from this site, and she will be the project manager for this site. So congratulations, Loida. Consider us a friend of the, you're a friend of the office. Anything we can do to make sure that you're successful, just make sure you let me know. I think it's a recipe for success when you have somebody who's homegrown in these communities that can take on these responsibilities, and you're gonna do great. So congratulations. It is an honor to be here in Council District 6, and as the mayor mentioned, Council District 6 is home to the most supportive housing units for homeless population in any district here in the San Fernando Valley. We are committed to building more through HHH and other programs. And for that, I also want to thank the residents and the stakeholders of my district for their willingness to always be part of the solution. You will never see people protesting a housing project for those experiencing homelessness here in my district. People have always been willing to help And you can see that in my surrounding, here in the San Fernando Valley and the surrounding districts, you will see now the willingness of other council districts stepping up and doing the same thing. Ultimately, we are all going to be able to help each other if only we can just put a dent in addressing some of the homeless concerns. We all win if we all participate in the solutions. There is no corner in the San Fernando Valley or in our city where we're not experiencing an individual or seeing someone who is homeless living on our sidewalks or in our neighborhoods. And while Council District 6 has the most existing supportive housing, we are the first to surpass our goal for the new supportive housing in the valley. And up until now, we did not have a bridge home site until today. So I want to thank all the residents and the business owners from this neighborhood who are working class people, who are doing their best to provide for their families. They are the reasons why they were here this morning, because of them. There were auto body, furniture, repair, and painting shops here in this neighborhood, and they want to be able to see how they can help people as well. Some of them come from families who came to this country with nothing, and they're trying to build a future not only for themselves, but for their family and their children. And they also want to make sure that their businesses are safe and accessible to their customers. And what that means is comprehensive cleanups in this area, which we are committed to doing to make sure that these neighborhoods get some relief and that these businesses see that we're actually working together to alleviate some of the ongoing conditions in these neighborhoods. Of course, with COVID-19, we're going to ensure that everyone's safety is met and that we're following CDC guidelines before we initiate any type of cleanup in the area. I also want to point out that the people who are residing in this area and the people who work in these businesses have been nothing but helpful to try to bring this project into fruition. A lot of the predominantly in some of these brown and black communities that are predominantly low-income communities, sometimes we've seen in the past that these communities have bared the absolute burden of having to carry all the responsibility on their own. So we need to make sure that every single community is doing their fair share so that these communities can feel like other people are weighing in on solving the issue of homelessness. So I want to thank the mayor for being here, his entire staff, my staff, for involving the neighborhood and the businesses in this area to make sure that this project came to fruition. Today we're going to have an opportunity to help 70 individuals, if not more, rebuild their lives and have a real shot of trying to get back into society and make sure that they're no longer living in our streets. We want to make sure that we're improving lives, not making it more difficult for people to get off our streets. So thank you very much for being here. I'd like to introduce our Lieutenant Colonel Martinez, who is a division commander of the Salvation Army and a great partner to partner with on this project. So thank you for being here. Lieutenant Colonel, why don't you come up here and say a few words?
Sprayer in chief.
Well, Mayor Garcetti, Council President Martinez, thank you so much for your support and help with the Salvation Army making this bridge home become a reality. Just to give you a little perspective of the work the Salvation Army is doing around Los Angeles, currently we are operating 12 shelters, 20 community centers. The locations of those 20 community centers expand across each of the 8 spas here in Los Angeles County. 7 locations are in spas that are experiencing the highest need according to the 2020 homeless count results. You know, at those 20 community centers that we provide across Los Angeles County, we provide rental assistance, utility assistance, permanent supportive housing vouchers, and help through the shallow subsidy program. We've also been operating the Project Room Key sites, 4 of those currently, in downtown LA, El Monte, Signal Hill, and San Pedro. With those 4 hotel sites, we have expanded our bed by 653 beds here in Los Angeles. And now, as part of the Salvation Army's ongoing commitment to double our impact on homelessness in Los Angeles, today we are cutting the ribbon on this new 70-bed shelter here in Van Nuys. And what a great day it is to be here in San Fernando Valley. In collaboration with Mayor Eric Garcetti, Council President Nury Martinez from District 6, LASA, and the Salvation Army, this Bridge to Home site will house 46 males and 24 females experiencing homelessness here in Van Nuys. The Salvation Army has already opened similar locations in Watts and Lafayette Park, and now 70 of our neighbors here will be off the streets in this low barrier shelter in San Fernando Valley. This shelter will provide immediate relief to clients and provide food, showers, workforce development services, case management, and addictive and mental health services. The goal is to make this a temporary stop on their way to permanent housing solutions. And so this shelter is an expansion of our San Fernando Valley Salvation Army that currently operates a food pantry, rapid rehousing services, and veteran employment services to residents at Van Nuys. And so we are very proud today to be a part of the solution here in Van Nuys and San Fernando Valley to end homelessness. And we just want to thank the mayor, council president, Martinez, Lassa, and so many other great partners who have made this project possible. Thank you very much, and God bless you.
Now, I'm not going around the chain of command, but Loida, do you want to come up and say anything as somebody from Van Nuys? I'm always about lifting up the leadership. If come and tell us what this means to you.
Well, thank you for everyone that's here. My name is Loida Peraza, the program manager for this site. I actually came to the United States when I was 12, and this is my home, has been always my home. And I used to live in Van Nuys, a couple blocks away from here. So I have seen definitely Van Nuys grow up, every year, and the needs of homelessness has grown tremendously. And I've seen the support that the Salvation Army has actually provided to our communities. And it's an honor, a pleasure to be part of this project, to be able to run it and be more connected to the community and be able to share what I have learned, what I have gone through, and be able to be part of such a blessing. It's a dream come true, as many of them have said. But I'm very happy to be here, and it's an honor to be part of this project. Thank you.
Y finalmente, y el presidente del Consejo Municipal también tal vez quiere decir unas palabras en español, pero estamos aquí para celebrar un gran día en Los Ángeles y en este distrito 6, en la ciudad de Los Ángeles. Aquí en Van Nuys para celebrar la esperanza y la recuperación, para mostrar el poder de las alianzas y para marcar un hito importante para nuestra ciudad, la apertura de nuestro 21º sitio de un puente a casa y el cuarto en el Valle de San Fernando. Para nuestra ciudad este día es la culminación de un esfuerzo para transformar a una propiedad de metro y un aparcamiento en un refugio muy hermoso. Para los residentes de este nuevo refugio marca el principio de un nuevo camino a una vida mejor y un futuro más brillante. El sitio de un puente en casa de Etna es más que un símbolo o otra estadística. Cuenta una historia poderosa. Su apertura significa que 70 más angelinos pondrán sus cabezas en una almohada, no en una acera, y unirse con las almas que duerman profundamente en las 1,667 camas en los refugios de un puente a casa en toda de Los Ángeles. Significa que estamos en camino para tener 24 proyectos de un puente de casa con más de 1,800 camas sirviendo angelinos a mediados de septiembre y más de 2,000 camas para el final del año. Aquí, como los otros 20 refugios de un puente a casa a todos Los Ángeles, los residentes lo llamarán su hogar y encontrarán la esperanza con el amor, la ayuda y la guía del extraordinario personal del Ejército de Salvación. Y gracias a los líderes del Salvación, Ejército de Salvación. Y cada residente recibirá servicios críticos, incluyendo apoyo para navegar el proceso de vivienda, orientación, gestión de casos y un plan de acción personalizado para quedarse en el camino a encontrar una vivienda permanente. Gracias al liderazgo de presidente del Consejo Municipal y el Consejo de este distrito, Nury Martinez, y su equipo, y todos los miembros del equipo de la ciudad de Los Ángeles. Esos proyectos son difíciles, pero cuando están abiertos es un regalo, el alma de esta ciudad y la esperanza que nosotros podemos. Gracias por su trabajo a brindar recuperación, vivienda y esperanza a esta comunidad. Do you want to say anything, Spanish, too?
Gracias al alcalde Eric Garcetti por su liderazgo en ese proyecto tan importante, no nomás para la comunidad de aquí de Venice, pero también para las personas que están viviendo y son desalojadas y están viviendo en nuestras calles. Quiero también darle las gracias al Salvation Army que va a poner los servicios aquí en este lugar, y también muy especial a Loida Peraza, que será la manejadora de este sitio para poder ayudar a las personas que requieren recursos, pero no nomás eso, pero también la ayuda que se va a necesitar para convencer a las personas que vengan a esta vivienda. Aquí van a ser alojados más de 70 personas de aquí de la área de Venice. Queremos que las personas no nomás tengan una oportunidad de vivienda, pero también de servicios que los va a ayudar a poder realizar sus vidas y ojalá en el futuro encontrar una vivienda permanente. Tenemos que seguir limpiando nuestras calles con el apoyo de los negocios y las personas que viven en esta área. Estamos comprometidos para asegurar de que esta área se mantenga limpia. Queremos asegurar también a todas las personas que viven en esta área y darles las gracias por el apoyo de construir esta vivienda. No hay ninguna persona que proteste este tipo de proyectos en mi distrito, y por eso les quisiera dar las gracias a ellos, que todo el tiempo han brindado el apoyo y ven la necesidad de las personas que están viviendo en esas condiciones. Otra vez al alcalde, muchas gracias por su apoyo y gracias al Salvation Army por estar aquí, y vamos a seguir ayudando a las personas poquito a poquito a salir de la pobreza y ojalá venir a un lugar así para que puedan resumir sus vidas. Muchísimas gracias.
Quiero agradecerle a todos, al Salvation Army. Soy Loida Peraza, la programadora del proyecto de Edna, y es un placer, es un orgullo estar aquí y representar a Salvation Army y poder darle oportunidad a mucha gente, la oportunidad de hacer un cambio en sus vidas, ayudarles a buscar un lugar permanente y ser una bendición para ellos como ellos son una bendición para nosotros. Le agradezco a la ciudad, Mayor Garcetti, a todos los que están involucrados en el proyecto. Es una gran bendición y un gran honor ser parte de este equipo. Gracias.